with all their other offerings, if these are as good as I'm hoping they are, they have a sweet wheat, they have a single barrel, and they have a bottled in bond, and they also have a port finish.
I'd be interested in that port finish. We have not had a bad experience with a wine cask finished,
Except for the Navigator.
Oh, I thought that was just whiskey made by wine people.
Oh, no, it was finished in a Merlot cask or something.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, Navigator should be...
Outlawed? Banned?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just use it as lighter fluid. All right, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
All right. Welcome to the Savor the Burn podcast. My name is Jonathan. Right over here is Mr. W2. We call him Wizard Fingers. We call him Mr. Wayne Wilkes. Wayne. Yeah, a few months ago, I told your son. I said, hey, little man, you know why we call your dad W2? Because his middle name is Wayne, so his name is Wayne. And he's like, oh, okay. He didn't believe me, I'm sure. Even kids know I'm full of it. But today, as you can see, we are trying two different types of 1792. One of these is it's like a world winner, the 12 year of 2024. What was the award?
That was your homework assignment.
It was my homework. Don't remind me.
I know it was Forbes magazine, best bourbon of the year or something like that.
Let's see here, but we all know what you really want to see. The top of the heap, number one, the world's best bourbon. That's what it is, period.
Best bourbon.
For 2024, that singular honor belongs to the 12-year-old release 1792 distillery in Bardstown, Kentucky. And then it goes on to say, here's a closer look for what makes a liquid so exceptional, et cetera. I think that's a little Willy Wonka for you. But so other than what I've already said, what all can you tell us about these guys?
This is made right in the heart of bourbon country, kind of where it all started. Where
all right,
they claim is like the best of the best kind of stuff. But yeah, this is we're starting with the full proof.
Mm-hmm. That would be over here on our right. Mm-hmm. Your left.
A little bit darker. This one, as said already, this is from Kentucky. This is from Barton 1792 distillery. This is aged 8.5 years. Yeah, I believe technically this is listed as as a no age statement, but I found a ton of stuff that says yes, this is an 8.5 year specifically bourbon. It's Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, and this comes in at 125 proof.
Yeah, the full proof.
What I think is interesting about this one, especially when we talk about barrel strength, full proof of these, and maybe just an idea that just popped in my head, maybe this is the difference. Maybe full proof actually is barrel strength that we're getting. But full proof, I remember one of the things that I read about this is they bottle it at the same proof that it goes into the barrel at. So so it goes into the bottle at 125 proof, and they bottle it at 125 proof.
Okay.
I wonder if that's the difference between full proof, because for it to be a bourbon, it has to go into the bottle, I believe, or into the barrel at no less than 125.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right.
And so, but they're bottling it at that same proof. Mm-hmm. Whereas most other barrel strength or barrel proof offerings,
130, 150,
they have the handwritten proof on there because it varies. All over
per
the place.
barrel.
Not just single barrel, but in batch. The Elijah Craig is batched at their barrel proof. So maybe that is the difference in what they mean by foolproof instead of just saying barrel proof or barrel strength or whatever.
Yeah, and we try to make little educational videos and try to give some definitions to some of the terms that get thrown around.
There's a lot of terms
so easily.
Yeah,
but while we're talking about it, real quick, thank you for listening on YouTube. If you like what we're doing, if you like us, you think we're handsome young men, please hit subscribe and that little bell notification, and you'll get notified anytime that we post something. And if you don't have time to watch this entire episode or any of our other episodes, you can always listen to us audio only on any podcast app of your choosing. We're out there. Audible, Samsung. It's an old joke. And
never gets old though.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Old jokes never get old around my house. But yeah, we're on Apple, iTunes. We're everywhere, damn it.
Everywhere.
Anywhere you can find it. So getting
and
back
even
to
Patreon.
Oh yeah, Patreon. We've got that going now too. And go to the website savorthebird.com. Check out what we have in the store. You can get these glasses.
Yep.
I don't think we have the glass caps.
No, I need to add those though.
But yeah, these Glencairn glasses are in there, and these to me anymore, like since starting this podcast, these are essential for getting a true taste of what each whiskey has to offer. It's essential. I mean, you can put it in a rocks glass. It's just not the same experience.
Yeah.
Because you see this tulipped shape, how it comes out and it comes up, like a lady. It's got it helps the spirit bloom down here in the bottom.
It makes the rock and world go around.
Yes, sir. Freddie Mercury knew what he was talking about. But then but then when it tulips up here in the top, it helps concentrate those scents, and it really helps. Don't get those mixed up.
Oh no.
You can tell the difference just by looking at them. Though this one's so much darker. But getting back into it, I think I'm ready to do a tasting.
Right?
Were you still talking?
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm over the 125.
I'm going to read this real quick, but yeah, and just to kind of set the stage right here. Unlike a lot of our past reviews and episodes, we think this is a great opportunity for us to put these side by side. So instead of us just focusing on one of them, we're going to do head to head with these. So we're going to start with our foolproof, and then we're going to move right on into the 12-year and kind of go back and forth as needed as we kind of discuss that.
Generally, we do adhere to the to the idea that it's unfair to compare.
Right.
But of course, the addendum slips in. When it comes to trying like a Jim Beam and a Jim Beam, I had to do it. It's okay to compare because you're going from Black Label to double oaked.
The Elijah Craig.
It's going to be a completely
that we did
Elijah Craig.
Not so long ago.
So this is right in line with that.
Yeah.
So that's why we're doing them side by side, and we are going to compare, but we're still making our individual notes here.
Yep. And just real quick before we get into it, just a little bit about Barton. Bourbon insiders have long acknowledged that foolproof bourbon has a distinguished and rich flavor. This bourbon underwent a distinct filtering process, forging the typical chill filtration and passing only through a plate and frame filter. This allowed the bourbon to maintain a robust proof for boiling, as well as a full, rich, and bold flavor. Bottled at its original 125 barrel entry proof, just as it was years ago when the barrels were first filled, 1792 foolproof bourbon is exceptionally distinct.
All right, well, that clears that up because we were talking about what is foolproof, what is barrel proof. So foolproof is the proof that it was when it
went into the barrel.
That's kind of cool.
And this says that the color is a bright bronze.
Bright bronze.
Man,
there ain't nothing bright about it, man. It's dark. it's beautiful.
Dark.
It's not Myers rum dark.
No.
Thank fuck. But that's as dark as bourbon gets. I think.
We got some legs.
Yeah. Okay. So that's one thing I was looking at over here a little bit earlier. The legs kind of started happening on this one. I did the swirl test over here, This one almost immediately went into, leg town, leg city. This one over here hung out for a while. Knows how to use them. Well, yeah, it smells a bit like maple off the top. I'm ready.
That's definitely got a bite to it.
Yeah, you got that proof.
Yeah, a lot of oak. Vanilla, a lot of caramel.
Yeah. Whoops, not there.
There's almost kind of a charcoal, definitely a charred oak flavor.
Charred on the tail end of the finish.
Mm-hmm. Man, that proof definitely jumps out and lets you know
it's
it's there.
Yeah, it fucking slapped the shit out of me.
Wow.
It's got a lot going on there, honestly.
I think we kind of skipped right on past the nose.
There's almost like some leather. I always pick up on leather. Yeah, nose. I got maple, probably vanilla.
I'm getting some kind of a berry on the nose.
Berry, really?
Yeah.
Huh. Just smells like breakfast. Like, and not in an alcoholic kind of way. It's just like, it smells.
There's so much going on.
It just smells maple syrupy, like like baked goods, like pancakes, kind of. It's just like pancakes and waffles.
This says on the nose, seasoned oak with caramel and barrel char layer in, culminating in a heavy-handed aroma. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Some of the stuff I just copy and paste from what I find online to give us a reference point. And sometimes the English ain't very good. Gentle sense of vanilla, cranberry, and raspberry help round things out. That's just on the nose.
Yeah.
And I agree. There is some kind of a berry. I feel on.
I'm not picking up on the berry, but that doesn't mean it's on there. When I read it, though, it's a cranberry and raspberry help round things out. Like that could absolutely be what you were thinking.
Now that I've had a couple tastes off of it, I don't feel like it scalds you and burns you all the way down.
No,
it's got a spice to it that really kind of grabs you.
Yeah.
This says that the flavor palette is seasoned oak, caramel, and barrel char are also the stars of the palette. Notes of pecan, dried dates, and an ever so minor mix of stone fruit. Though it lacks depth, it makes up for it with potency. It's definitely potent.
Yeah. And we've had that with other whiskeys, bourbons before, where it seems like the variety of different things on the palate have narrowed down, but everything in there is super strong. Yeah, them legs are thick. She's thick. On the tail end of the finish, it kind of tastes like melted butter, like the kind of butter that you dip your crab legs in. Now I just want crab legs.
I'm a fan.
Mm-hmm.
We had crab in our mac and cheese tonight for dinner.
So good. Yeah, dude. Maybe that is a spice. That burn is from spice.
It's not your burning kind of a heat. It's a spice.
It's a spicy heat, like rye or something, and that continues long and lingering. I'm just writing down our little notes here.
I wrote down my numbers, but I'm not ready to share those because I want to come back and maybe visit those as we kind of. Shall we talk about the 12-year a little bit? Get into it.
Yeah, talk about it for sure.
Okay, so the full proof, 125 proof, our 12-year actually only comes in at 96.6 proof. Mm-hmm. So that's substantially. I'm saying only, but 96.6. That's substantially less than 125.
Yes.
96 is no chump.
No.
But it is significantly less than 125. That's the point I was making. Mm-hmm. So
only.
This one says 12 years is a long time to wait, but patience has its rewards. Starting with our signature high rye recipe. I like that. And back to what I was saying, that's the spice.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. These are considered high rye bourbons.
Well, that's why it's spicy.
That's the spice. And when you're at 125 proof, that rye spice is really going to jump out and say, howdy-ho! Anyway, this impeccable bourbon whiskey is the satisfying result of maturing for more than a decade in the finest charred American white oak barrels.
So you say you wrote it down, but you didn't total them? You're gonna like adjust them as you go?
Maybe.
Okay.
I've written down my first thought.
All right. So, my grandmama used to say, "An Irishman's first thought is his best thought." I don't know how Irish you are.
This is more Scottish than Irish, but I do have a hint of Irish in there.
Most Scots do.
I mean,
and vice versa.
You got to come down out of the Highlands at some point.
Yeah. So after tasting that, this on the nose just fell off.
I think the foolproof slaps you around a little bit right off the nose. This one is a little bit softer and a little bit more custardy.
It's a lot softer.
I enjoy the nose on this though. This is nice. It's a little bit lighter color. So I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to do a side by side now that we've dipped into it. But yeah, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
It went down really easy. Really easy.
Very easy.
How's a 96 proof so smooth?
Maybe part of that is this one numbed the taste buds.
Yeah.
But, that's just really easy drinking.
Mm-hmm.
That's really smooth. Everything is nice and rounded off. It's got lots of vanilla. And I feel like the vanilla is more of a custardy because it is a rounded off.
All right, so you were thinking it was custardy on the nose?
On the nose and also right on through to the palate. There's a little bit of oak, but not as much of the char.
On palate?
Mm-hmm.
So on finish, sometimes I just have to start at the end. On the finish, it's kind of buttery to me. Mm-hmm. Not crab leg butter, but...
Is there a little bit of apple on the nose?
Yeah, I'm putting out butter. Like whipped butter.
Yeah.
You're thinking orchard fruits on the nose?
Maybe, yeah.
Like maybe pear, maybe apple.
And definitely honey for that sweetness.
Like there's a million different kinds of apples out there.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like, it reminds me of the yellow apples.
Yeah.
Or like a really ripe pear. Mm-hmm. Jennifer, I don't know what kind of pears it is that she gets, that she eats.
You don't like pears though, do you?
I don't. But like, she'll cut them up and I'll smell them and I'll think, that does smell good. Why don't I like them? And I know I don't. It's the taste, it's the texture. It's just like with strawberries. That's right. If you haven't heard it before, I, Jonathan Hassler, Sr., do not like strawberries. Not a fan. Same thing with pears. And that's all right. More for y'all, if y'all like that stuff. So I'll put apple? Did I say yellow apple?
You did.
Okay, so it's not the Granny Smith. It's not the Red Delicious.
Granny Smiths are very tart.
Very tart. And
so you're talking the yellow ones are. Yeah, I would.
They're not as tart.
I would put them closer into a pear category.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell you what kind of pears they are. If they're Bradford or is Bradford a thing? No, that's the tree. That invasive species. They're trying to do a buyback. Missouri Conservation is. It might have done us better to start with this.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm digging on this one though.
Yeah, it's got lots to offer on the nose though. After my senses calm the fuck down with the after doing the foolproof. Yeah, I think I'm starting to find more stuff in here. Mm-hmm. Oak is definitely there.
And it's interesting because the notes talk about
but like you said, it's not charred.
Yeah.
It's not like a really charcoaly kind of thing, like maybe a 3 level char.
The notes put the foolproof at a bright bronze color and this one at a light mahogany.
Oh.
Maybe, but I don't know. When I think of
what is bright bronze? Like it's polished. It's almost like copper.
Yeah, okay. So I read that, and my mind first went to brass, but bronze is a darker, deeper, almost copper color. So
if I'm thinking of the right thing.
But bright, I don't know.
I don't know about bright. Bright is like when you go to the World War One museum, Liberty Memorial, and like you see like in the two mausoleum style parts that are up there on the top level. They have bronze doors and door handles, and like you could smell it before you even get there. Like bronze has a smell.
Yeah. Yep.
And so like you go to grab the handle and you see that the handle everywhere it's been touched, it's a lighter color. You know, like there's statues that have like polished. It almost looks like parts of it have been polished, like people kiss the knuckles or whatever of something. Or there's a guy buried in Europe, I think, somewhere, and like his grave, his capstone is a like a bronze copy of him laying there, you know, in state. And so like women will go on there and like ride him and rub themselves off on him. So like to like try to get a better fertility or something. I don't know. It's local lore, but they'll ride the dude, and like you can see that area of him is like a lot brighter than the rest of the capstone, the tombstone.
So I'm looking at the bottle here, and I've given both of them my same score on this, but I think it's kind of cool. The cap is, even though it's bright and shiny and looks all metallic-y, is definitely a plastic cap. But there is a little bit of a rubber gasket down in there to help seal it.
Okay.
And that is a great
in addition
natural cork stopper.
In addition to the natural cork.
It's got a little bit of a rubber seal on there. The fronts are essentially identical with just right above the 1792.
Tells you what it is.
Designating what it actually is.
It's a super unique shape of the bottle.
And then the backside, the foolproof is not black. Maybe black.
Yeah, it's black and gold.
Like a charcoal black. And then whereas the 12-year is gray.
Yeah.
Which then matches the color of the band. And going out on the website and looking at all their other offerings, each offering has a different color. So besides these two and besides the standard small batch, there is a sweet wheat, the age 12-year, a high rye, which I think that might be interesting, a single barrel, full proof, bottled in bond, and then the port finished.
All right, so I think single barrel, port finished, and the high rye, like those might be on the shopping list because like, we have a rye night coming up anyway.
We do have a rye night coming up.
Are we already full on that schedule?
We got 4 amazing ryes.
Yeah, because you came up with this Michter's single barrel Kentucky Straight Rye. Oh, what is that one? Oh, the High and Wicked Kentucky Straight Rye.
Yeah, that's the
rye.
That's the store pick from Whiskey Snug.
Yeah, but we're not talking about that now. We're talking about this over here, 1792 Shiny Keys. Good times. I need to figure out what I want to put on my tasting here.
So on this 12-year, right from the 1792 website, I pulled rich flavors of vanilla and cocoa abound in this full-bodied bourbon.
Cocoa.
After spending, definitely.
Cocoa. It's on the finish.
After spending 12 years in oak, the delicate fruit notes in this whiskey are met with a lingering smoky finish that is more complex than most.
Spicy.
And then down from there, on the nose, I found the nose opens with a warm, rich caramel apple scent that immediately sets the tone. It's joined by lighter scents of raspberry, honey, and confectioner's sugar, creating a solid mid-range of scents.
I've never been a huge fan of confectioner's sugar. The powdered sugar, never really been a huge fan of it.
It depends on its application. Yeah. A layer of oak and vanilla grounds the aroma in a classic bourbon style.
I'd agree with that.
The palate says caramel continues into the palate and is married with milk chocolate, brown sugar, and nougat.
Nougat.
It drinks its age with a maturity to its palate. And then the finish says rye spice is the first to take hold. See, and this is where starting with the full proof probably did our finish a disservice, because the finish is great on this, but it is just a nice slow taper for me.
Yeah.
Whereas that one actually leads with that rye spice.
It's like, oh, you think you're done? I'm not done.
Oh no.
I'm gonna add up my totals while you're reading about it here.
So yeah, rye spice is the first to take hold. It's accompanied by dry char oak that exhibits a strong grasp throughout the rest of the sip. Mixed nuts, graham crackers, and cocoa nibs provide a heavy base, further grounding this low-flying bourbon.
Low-flying bourbon?
That's what it says.
I don't know why they call it low-flying bourbon. If it got like world's best bourbon, like the entire world's best bourbon for 2024. Like how do they call it low-flying? Unless they just mean it differently, and I'm not interpreting it.
Yeah.
Interpreting it that way. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. I'm reading it like they're fucking insulting us.
I think it's real interesting.
I say us, but I mean 1792.
You go out to 1792's website, and all the photos across the board, all of them are photographed almost identically, and they all have a glowing orange, kind of a tarnished light amber color to them, but a very glowing color. I sat down here one night and tried my damnedest to photograph these things. I could not get anywhere close to the color that their photography had.
Wonder what they're doing.
These are just dark colors. They're
Like using sunlight.
They're backlighting it,
Backlit?
so that it's glowing, or lighting it from the bottom, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. But the point I'm making is, these to me are way darker in color in reality than the photos on their website.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, in the photos you sent me that we put on the Whiskey Guild, the Kansas City Whiskey Guild, they are dark as shit.
Yep.
Look like you left the light off in the room.
Oh no, I had all the lights on.
Dark.
I had the two side lights, and then I also put another spotlight behind it.
You can see other stuff in the room lit up behind it. They're just that damn dark.
Yeah.
And how cool is that?
And then you put a dark, both of these labels, even the 12-year that's a gray label, it's black on the other side of it. And so that just makes it look very dark in the
maybe
bottle.
That's part of it. It's hard to say. It really is hard to say.
So, you hold it up, you can kind of see that glowing orange. But...
Well, we've spoken our piece about them and what we think about them.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Kansas City Whiskey Guild, if you're not a part of that, if you're watching this or listening to this and you are in Kansas City and you're a whiskey, bourbon, scotch, whatever enthusiast, that's what we call ourselves. We don't call ourselves aficionados or experts or any of that pinkies stuff. Yeah, that's a little too pinkies up for my bloodline. So I'm perfectly happy calling myself an enthusiast. And I think that the our fellow meat sacks in the Kansas City Whiskey Guild feel the same. So Linda says both delicious in different ways. Jackson says have not had a 1792 I didn't like. Never been lucky enough to find the 12-year, or at least one at MSRP anyway. So I guess, did we talk about price?
We did not.
Yeah. Yeah, that can make or break me, whether or not my decision, whether or not I'm going to buy something. Matt says the full proof is the bourbon that got me into barrel proof bourbon. It's not barrel proof, Matt. It's full proof. He says it's fantastic. I'd agree. It's pretty fucking good. Brad says have them both. Both are great. 12 is my fave. The full proof does not slip a little hot. Oh, the full proof does sip a little hot. If I ever learned how to read, I'd be unstoppable.
So yeah, pricing on these, this 12-year, second market, I've been eyeballing this one for a long time, and second market on this one has this one, it fluctuates a little bit, but it's anywhere from $195 to $220. Wow.
Oh, that's probably after.
I found it for 59.
That's probably after the world's best bourbons rating got released.
Could have been. I found it for $59.95. Mm-hmm. And I snatched it up. Full proof. Second market on that, I think, is still mid 100, 150, 140, somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. I found it for 49. I was happy with those prices.
It's all in the hunt and the relationships you make in those hunts. If Bruzel said it once, he's probably said it 5 times. The whiskey business is a relationship business.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to hunting, get to know your local liquor guy or gal, your local liquor person, and just ask them questions. Talk about what it is that you like, and if they have suggestions for you to check out, definitely buy the bottle that they're trying to recommend you try out. And just work on that relationship. I've done that a couple of times. No, thank you. No, thank you. Not that it's bad. It's really good. I like it. I can see why it got the bourbon of the year. I mean, it's no Jim Beam White Label.
I mean,
What is?
It does have a plastic cap.
Right.
But
it's got a natural cork and a plastic. It's got a rubber seal and a plastic cap. It's gold. It's got a lot going on here for bottle presentation.
It's a very unique bottle.
The neckband looks like leather. Mm-hmm. There's a texture to it.
There's a texture on
even
both
if it is paper. I don't care if it's paper or not. I mean, like you already pointed out, the color is different, so that reminds me of the seagrass bottles. Every color is a different thing, and honestly, every color being a different thing is part of any distillery's deal. It's what they do. So, want to talk about ratings?
Let's do it. Let's start with ratings. Full proof.
Full proof on the nose. I gave it a 4 1/4.
All right, we're not that far off. I gave it a 4.
4 even. How about the palate?
Gave it another 4.
Another 4. I gave it a 4 1/4. Finish?
4 1/4.
Same. So did I. Bottle presentation?
4 1/4.
That's what I gave it too. So yeah, you're right. We weren't far off all the way down.
No.
What did your total score end up being?
8 1/4.
8 1/4. Mine was 8 1/2.
All right. We take our nose, palate, finish, bottle presentation. 4 categories, 1 to 5. Add those together, gives us a total of 20 possible. Mm-hmm. We then take that, divide those by 2, gives us our 1 to 10 rating.
Yep, and that's how we do it on these on these 5 different criteria. We got the nose, the palate, the finish, the bottle presentation. Mm-hmm. And then that's our, and then like you said, add it up. We get our divide by 2. That's our final. 4. So it's 4. It's not 5. Yeah. Sorry.
That's all right. How about the nose on the 12-year?
The nose on the 12-year, I gave it a 4 1/4.
I gave it a 4.
Another 4 even. Look at you. How about the palate?
4 1/2.
I gave it a 4 1/2. Were you copying off me?
I was not.
No, you weren't. I think you had yours done before I even got here. No, you didn't. Not before I got here. The finish. Where are you at on the finish?
Another 4 1/2.
Same here. Maybe I copied off you. How about bottle presentation?
I left it the same.
I left it the same too.
It's the same. It's 4 1/4.
And what did your final score end up being?
That brought my final to 8 5/8. 8.625.
All right. Yeah, that brought mine to 8 3/4.
Very nice. Yeah.
So yeah, I did like the 12-year a little bit better. The 12-year for me would be a more of a daily sipper. Mm-hmm. I probably wouldn't use it as a something to use in a cocktail, even though it is up there in proof. Yeah. It's at 96. It'd be a great candidate for one.
Well,
like maybe an old fashioned or something. But with as much as it has to offer, flavor range.
Yeah.
And low heat, being so fucking smooth
it's
at
very
96.
Drinkable. Very drinkable.
Yeah, I mean, you share that with your friends, and you'll be the belle of the ball.
Well, the bonus coming up after this episode, we're doing a cocktail with the full proof.
With the full proof,
and I had already kind of determined that because the cocktail that we're doing won't get into those details. You'll have to stay tuned and listen to the bonus.
Yep.
But
bonus is coming.
But I pulled that recipe off of 1792's website.
Yeah.
And
you pulled a few of them.
Their own recipe. They had a lot of great sounding recipes.
We didn't debate, but in the end, we just had to stick with the first thought.
Yeah, it's one specific for the foolproof. So I had already decided ahead of time. Some of these when we've done a side by side, we've kind of used our assessment to kind of dictate what makes the most amount of sense.
Yeah.
This one I had already decided we're going to use the full proof on there. But now that we've had them, I think the higher proof of the full proof offering is going to be ideal for that cocktail. It's going to help, because here at Savor the Burn, we like our cocktails, the spirit to actually shine a little bit.
Right.
It's not that we want it to be boozy or over the top, just hard to drink.
That's not the point.
We want the flavors and everything that we experience having it neat to be present in that cocktail.
Yeah. We talked about that before. Like we want the spirit to shine. And there's absolutely nothing wrong. And I think the goal is for whoever's doing the mixology of these cocktails, the goal, the idea, the end result that they're looking for is just a great tasting cocktail.
Right.
And with us, we want a great tasting cocktail. But more importantly, for us here at Savor the Burn, we want the spirit to take center stage.
We want the spirit to be represented.
Yeah.
We want that cocktail to say, damn, that's 1792 full proof.
And sometimes we wrestle with that because we'll have more than the recipe calls for, but it just doesn't show up.
And sometimes we wrestle to it.
A little disheartening.
We wrestle with it to the point where we go, well, shit, let's make another one.
Let's make another one. We did that. We did that.
We've done that a couple times.
Yeah, we've done that. It wasn't on one of the video episodes, but we've done that a couple of times. That I don't remember which one it was, but I do. It was one of the Same Old Moses.
Oh, it sure was. It was the Lion's Tail.
Lion's Tail. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah, and we said, you know what, this isn't right. Please hold. We're going to figure this out. And we figured it out. We came back. We talked about it. It was a good time. So with the empty glass, if you listen to us for any length of time, you know that sometimes we take our empty glass and the empty glass will give us notes that we didn't find in our original tasting. It's just something kind of fun that we do. So for me on the full proof, the proof sticks. It's still fucking there.
Oh yeah, but
it's rye, it's oak.
For me, the
it's
oak,
still sweet with maple.
The oak comes through even more so.
Yeah.
And you're right. There's a little bit of rye there too.
And it's so custardy and so.
It's custard and caramel.
So
a little hint of vanilla.
Pancakes and waffles with with syrup.
Have you ever been baking?
So good. Yes.
And you're using your vanilla extract, and you go, I love vanilla. This has to be amazing. And you do yourself a shot of vanilla extract. Have you ever done that?
No.
Oh, maybe that's just me.
It's probably not just you, but no, I have not. I have not.
Well,
how did that go?
Oh, it goes terrible.
I knew it was going to be a mistake, dude. I just fucking knew it.
It's a mistake. But where I'm going with that, though, is the vanilla that I'm getting off of this empty glass reminds me of the concentration of vanilla that you get from tipping
taking a shot of vanilla extract. We usually just get whatever's there. It could be McCormick, it could be Hy-Vee brand or whatever. There is a drastic difference between the two, but I'd say the best vanilla we had was what Stephanie had, Mitch's girlfriend, when we had that Bow Street Smash. And that was something. That was some imported stuff. I don't know where she got that. Anyway, that was one of the first episodes. The Bow Street Smash episode was during the 2023 Irish whiskey. Tastings around St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. So if you want to find those, definitely give those a listen. That was early on. You will be introduced to our W2's longtime friend Mitch, and you might hear dogs in the background. You might hear Stephanie in the background. Mitchy. But Yeah, good times. But yeah, you can find that on our YouTube channel. Like I said, if you like what we're doing, definitely hit subscribe and click that bell notification so you can stay up to date on all things Savor the Burn. And another way to stay up to date on Savor the Burn, definitely check out savortheburn.com. If you like what we're doing, if you don't like what we're doing, drop us an email, info@savortheburn.com. You can email W2 directly, W2@savortheburn.com. You can email me directly, Jonathan@savortheburn.com. As always, check out our socials. Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok. Well, until the United States government bans it. We out here. Check us out. Check us out. And one of the best ways to support the podcast, besides hopping on a Patreon or getting a hold of that Flavier subscription in the shop, which is a really cool program. You get your monthly tasters. I can't reach them right now. But anyway, if you sign up for it, you get a free bottle with your subscription. And in turn, we get a free bottle as well. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways to support us. But as for right now, check out the t-shirt pre-sales going on in the on savortheburn.com/shop. And
sir.
It's right there in the shop. It's up there at the top of the page or in the drop-down menu. What else? Oh, click like, leave us a comment, share
Smash
it with
that
your
like button.
If you have anybody that's looking into checking out 1792 and what they have to offer, share this video with them.
Yeah.
Or this episode, no matter what you're doing, if you're watching or listening. That'll help them. It'll help us, and we really couldn't ask for anything better. That's kind of what this podcast is. Like we did this because we're bourbon enthusiasts. We like this shit, and we love having a good time sitting around talking about it. Sometimes we have rocktails. That's why it's cocktails and rocktails. This time we did not.
But we did do a little bit of a Queen little.
Yeah, we talked a little bit Fat Bottom Girls, how they make the rockin' world go round. Yep, and Queen fucking rocks still.
Yeah, they do.
So as always, no matter who you are, what you're drinking, who you're drinking it with, never forget. Keep on burning.